Karanjetlilive.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and today in this video we are going to discuss what is the CPU scheduling, what are the different types of CPU scheduling, and we will take some examples to for your better understanding. So guys, first things first, what is the CPU scheduling? Now what happens in an operating system inside a computer, or like the operating system, one of the job of the operating system is to manage the processes. You know, when computer system works, many processes are generated and all those processes needs to be executed, right? So out of those many processes, which process CPU will select first and execute, and which process CPU will select second and execute. So that thing is decided in something called as CPU scheduling. So what is CPU scheduling? In CPU there are many processes which are waiting for their turn to be executed. So which process will be executed first, which process will be executed later, and so on. All this thing is decided in something called as CPU scheduling. And guys, there are many factors which affect it. There are many factors which affect it, like which process will go first, which will come next. So it is dependent upon many other factors, okay? And in this lecture we are going to study all of the CPU schedulings and all those factors one by one, okay? So guys, when we talk about CPU scheduling, so it can be classified into two broad categories. First is called as preemptive, another is called as non-preemptive, okay? So what is preemptive scheduling? In preemptive scheduling, they say if CPU is processing one process, for example P1, it is running this process and some other process comes, for example P2. Okay, now depending upon which algo we are using or which rules we are following, CPU can leave this process in between and it can jump to the another process. Okay, so when a CPU can jump from one process to another before the first one is completed, then we call it as preemptive scheduling. Scheduling. What is preemption? So CPU is doing something and some other process comes. So it can leave this process in between and it can jump from this process to another process. Okay. So what this type of scheduling is called? It is called as preemptive scheduling. Okay. So then comes non-preemptive scheduling. So what is non-preemptive scheduling? Preemptive scheduling says, if CPU is running one process, for example, it is running P1, and some other process comes, P2, okay? Even if this process has higher priority or anything, but CPU will not jump from this process to another before this thing is completed, before process P1 is completed. So what do we call it? We call it as non-preemptive scheduling. Okay, so guys, the example of preemptive scheduling, the main example of preemptive scheduling is your priority, priority scheduling. And then we have another type of scheduling, we call it as shortest job first, right? So all these are type of preemptive. And another type of preemptive scheduling is round robin. It is a true preemptive scheduling. But the priority and the shortest job first, it can work in both the manners. They can work as a preemptive as well, they can work as non-preemptive. Okay. So guys, now we will end the example of non-preemptive scheduling is first come, first serve, and even priority and shortest jobs first can also be non-preemptive. Okay, it depends upon what procedure the CPU is following. Is it following preemptive or non-preemptive? So they can come under both the categories. So guys, now we will start with the first scheduling, that is first come, first serve.